Father and Son Hunting is dedicated to preserving and sharing the wonderful opportunity to hunt, fish, and enjoy our outdoor heritage. We could keep our experiences to ourselves, but we'd rather share them with you and encourage you to do likewise. There are lots of great hunting and fishing stories just waiting to be told, and Father and Son Hunting is the place to do it. Father and Son Hunting.
Yep, this is what it's all about, living our outdoor dream.
Father and Son Hunting is brought to you by Rhino Skin, Sitting Hawk, SRB Field Rests, Wolf Brewing Company, Field Torque Knives, Tebow's Rugged Pack. Father and Son Hunting can be viewed at huntit.tv network. And Gen 7 Outdoors.
G'day folks, Scott and Len here from Father and Son Hunting. Welcome to Season 4.
First thing we want to do this season is start out with a recap of last fall's deer hunt. And we had some successes, we had some close calls, and Scott's got some great video of a couple of his close calls with the crossbow, and he could maybe just tell you real quick what was taking place there. And
yeah, it was a good bow hunt this past fall, and our season goes from October to the end of December. And in late October, I had, I would say, a close encounter with a real nice buck that was following a doe and fawn along a bush line. When I was sitting there, and as you know, we use natural cover. We don't use blinds. I sit tight to the ground, so that's our hunting strategy and how we operate. As I'm sitting there, I have a doe and a fawn come past me about 6 yards, and I have this big guy following along, and it's out in a soybean field. And when this big guy came out to follow the doe, you'll notice in the video that how high the beans were when he started to make his way across the field. I was able to rangefinder him at around the 60-yard mark, and then again around the 32-yard mark was where at the point I made a decision to throw an arrow at him. But when I did that, the bow made a little bit of a move. He looked my way, looked through me, and we've had much discussion on this, but he certainly, whether he jumped the string and saw that arrow flying his way, he dropped down, and I just nicked the top of him, and it didn't work out. We took a look for quite a while, and we're quite confident that I'm going to see him again this fall. So
He'll be a little smarter.
I think he will be a little smarter. As I said, he was a beautiful buck. He was certainly in the rut. He was following that doe along, and but I'm looking forward to seeing him again because during the rut, you never know what might happen.
And you've got a little footage on another fellow that snuck up on you?
Yeah, in a different location in the same area. I had this one buck come in behind me, which is probably a nicer one than the one that I had at 32 yards. I had this fella at about 20 yards to my back left shoulder. He snuck in, and I wasn't able to get the bow up fast enough. But one morning though, I did catch him out in the field feeding, and then he was trotting back into the bush looking for a doe. But he was a real nice buck too, with real high tines on him.
We know we got some great genetics out there, and they're spreading the seed, I'm sure, and we're going to have lots of years of good bucks as long as we are able to get our butts out and off the road, get the distance away from the road, manage the wind.
And a lot of that comes back, folks, to pre-scouting, planning, knowing where you hunt, knowing the terrain, knowing what kind of crops in the field. Those are things we always like to encourage you folks to know, and if you can do that, you're going to be more successful. And that it takes us into the muzzleloader shotgun hunt in the first week of November that we are involved in back home here, and that's where my dad had some luck on the last day of the hunt.
Yeah, we had a challenging week, a real challenging week. An awful lot of crop weather. Growing season was terrible last year. Late harvested crop, lots of corn standing all over the place. Wind, a couple days with some pretty serious rainstorms, and we worked hard. Our gang, they know their business, they know the game, and we harvested about probably 2/3 of a normal harvest, and so we'll likely have an extra good one this year. But I have to say that the last day of the hunt, the Saturday, we got rained out about 10:30 in the morning, went back and had a great feast at the camp with everybody, and then called it quits. Everybody went home. We came here, the card game started, and I gotta thank you for motivational, get your butt out of the chair, let's go at about 20 after 3:30. The rain had stopped, and out we went. I have to thank you for all your pre-scouting in that particular piece of cover territory farm, and over the years you've shot some nice deer back there, you've had some close calls back there. It sure helps when you know what to expect, and those deer repeat what they do, as always. And the third thing I want to thank you for, it was the loaning me your new rangefinder. Shooting a deer at 207 yards with 20 gauge shotgun is something you want to have a pretty good idea what you're doing. And the first thing I did when I got back there, set up my shooting sticks, get my chair positioned, and pull out that rangefinder, range the 3 shots that I thought were probables. Okay. Get myself snuggled in comfortable. I'm planning on sitting there for upwards of an hour and a half. I've got my sponge seat on the top of the stool, and we're good to go. And I thought, I'm just going to range these shots one more time. So I started with the long shot to the south down the length of the field. We're probably sitting over about 2/3 of the way up the side, and so straight south. And there is a doe in the field grazing and coming towards us. I thought this could be interesting, so got real comfortable, put the rangefinder up again, and here comes the buck behind her. nice big body mature buck.
Father and Son Hunting can also be viewed at their website, fshunting.com, Vimeo, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
So now we had to dig into the homework that I've done over the time, and we've got some factors that are happening. We've got a strong wind out of the west. My shot's going to be straight south. I had checked the weather before we came out and on the computer, and it said 20 kilometers an hour gusting to 25, winds reducing later in the afternoon. And that's what we were getting, 20 kilometer an hour winds, gusts. And I have the data from JBM ballistics calculations. You plug in your bullet, the ballistic coefficient of the bullet, the muzzle velocity, the weight of the bullet, and temperatures, altitudes, all those things that it gives you back. Drop, hold over, or hold under, okay, at the various yardages. It gives you the windage calculation for a specified wind, and I use a 20 kilometer an hour wind as 100% wind. And so you've got that knowledge. The drop is a guarantee. It always is repeatable. And I double checked that at the 100 and the 200 yard range, sight in 2 inches high at 100. And I'm going to be about 10 inches low, 10 to 12 inches low at 200 yards. So comfortable there, but that wind is a real tough one to calculate. And so I knew that I needed 100% of my windage figure, which is about 16 inches on that bullet. We're using Federal 3-inch shells with the good Barnes tipped expanders that are about a 273 grain bullet. And Scott will show you a picture of the actual bullet unfired and the actual bullet that I shot that I killed the deer with. And we just took a snap of that to show you. And it's something you need to have that in your head and know how it changes as you go out, say in 10-yard increments, because at about 250 yards, the energy that bullet carries is about at the bottom. You're at the bottom of that range that they say should be used for shooting a deer. So very fortunate. The deer kept coming towards me, and you always think the closer he gets, the easier it's going to be to make a mistake. And how close do I let him come? And I'm very comfortable at 200 yards. I've shot the range, I know what happened. So at 207 he's broadside, and I'm sitting very comfortable on the shooting sticks, and I am totally impressed using those shooting sticks. But that worked great, and got the shot that I wanted. Hit him back, just about to the rear of the lung area, sort of where it overlaps the lung and the liver, at the back side of the lung, and that was the kill shot. And he didn't go very many yards from there.
How far do you think you went from?
Maybe 35 yards grand total, and expired. So it was awesome. The deer was down on the ground by 4:15. At 3:15, when I was just folding up my last hand of cards. So again, it's pretty tough to shoot a deer when you're sitting in your kitchen. You gotta go. You gotta do it.
And I just wondered too, as we walked out that night, and I sat in a different spot, another field away, and I said to my dad here, I said, "Do you want the rangefinder?" So I wonder now, how important was that rangefinder, you think? When you have all those numbers to crunch on the website you go to, but if you don't have that range, where that deer is.
Yeah,
Nobody
you're in
much does
trouble. We used to pace off our shots for groundhog hunting, and so we knew, we were better at it, but we don't have groundhogs down around here very often anymore. So now we both have rangefinders, and great addition. I've used it lots of times this spring when we were turkey hunting. Enjoy it, appreciate it. So it's a great investment. There's lots of deer out there. We saw lots when we were hunting turkeys this spring. Looks like a good hunt for this fall. Corn was planted the right time of the year this time, so we should have corn harvested and a much more normalized situation. So that rounds up 2014 deer hunt.
Yeah, that's our 2014 deer hunt. At the end of the day, it was successful. We both had a lot of fun during the hunt. We had some time to think about things, and of course, we had turkey season this past spring, and we can't wait to show you folks different episodes we had with that.
Well, that was great. And just a final mention, Scott did shoot, I think, a couple of deer in the gun hunt during the week, the driven deer, and
yeah, we had some good success. And even on my dad's deer we got the last day, we want to thank our friends for helping us out. It was a big deer, and it was a great day. So, folks, we got some great hunts coming up with the turkeys. We got myself got one. My dad and I took a double. We got Todd who shoots a monster in the bush. It's going to be a great season 4 for turkey hunting. Stay tuned.